Thanks for coming. My name's Scott Hudler. I'm the Vice President of Consumer Engagement for Dunkin' Brands, which is Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin-Robbins. And we're very excited to be here today and to have this contest, the Dunkin' Turbo Shot. One of the challenges that all marketers face is how to engage the elusive millennial audience. So we brainstormed it and said we could get a bunch of 40-something plus people up here pontificating on it, or we could just go straight to millennials and ask them how we could improve our engagement with the audience. So we chose the latter, and incredibly impressed with the depth of the insights and the presentations that we received from the submissions. Tough to take the initial pool and get it to 4, but I think we have 4 lights out ideas that the teams are going to present. This is kind of like a Boston marketing bean pot, some different schools, but a 4-team shootout. A couple other things. Incredibly impressed with the ideas, also with the turnaround. So these guys have turned this around pretty quickly, and as we were joking this morning, that's a great prep for the real world when you have one day to get something done. I don't think when I was in school, I would have taken the time to get that done over a weekend. So incredibly impressive for all the folks involved. So the format is pretty simple. We're going to have about 5 to 10 minutes per team, all working on the idea of how can Dunkin' Donuts engage the millennial consumer. We'll do 5 to 10 minutes of presentation with a brief Q&A. We'll then huddle. The judges, who I'll introduce in just a second, will huddle and pick a winner. The prizes are $500 Dunkin' Donuts Black Card, which is our super premium card. And for those of you with teams, we were debating we could either have you fight over the $500 or we'll just give you each a $500 card. So we chose we'll give you each a $500 card. Also, 2 shadow days. One day with Hill Holliday at the Hill Holliday offices learning about the agency business. A second day at Dunkin' Donuts learning about from the client side on the marketing side. So quickly before we get into it, our judges. First of all, J.M. Henderson, who is a writer and contributor for Forbes, focusing on the millennial consumer. Paige Salvia, who is our token millennial, who's a digital media supervisor from our agency partner Hill Holliday. Brent Feldman, EVP and group director on the Dunkin' business at Hill Holliday, and myself. So we're very excited to kick this off. So with that, our first presentation is going to come from Michael and Gina from Babson College.
Thank you very much. Michael, Millennial here. Here to tell you how Dunkin' can engage this demographic in unique, creative ways. We all know American runs on Dunkin', but I'm here to tell you how Americans, especially this demographic, will start running to Dunkin's. Let me set the stage for you right now. In the morning, taking a little nap, sleeping. What's this? Huh. I've been gifted a free cup of Dunkin' Donuts coffee from my Facebook friend Gina. On this new app I have to download, but I have 24 hours to redeem this opportunity for a coffee of my choice. There's that new caramel latte I'm going to try. I think I'll go to breakfast this morning at Dunkin's. It's a great opportunity to try this.
So what's better than waking up first thing in the morning and seeing that you've won a free cup of coffee? Waking up first thing in the morning and seeing that you've won a free cup of coffee from your friend. We believe that Dunkin' Donuts can augment its current app and leverage its current customer base, its current millennial customer base, in order to attract new millennials and increase engagement. Let me tell you how we're going to do this. First, we're going to take our current millennials and start offering them points. They get points when they buy coffee. They get points when they buy donuts. They get points when they like us on Facebook. They get points when they use social media to encourage their friends to like us. They get points when they use social media to encourage their friends to download our app. Now these points are going to translate to rewards. Rewards for free coffee, maybe Dunkin' branded gear, but most importantly, if I as an individual, if I turn on my phone and I see that I've been rewarded a cup of coffee, I might also see that I've been rewarded a free cup of coffee for my friend. And I have no choice. I have to give it to my friend. I can't keep it for me. I already have one for me, but I have to share one with my friend. And my friend, he's only got 24 hours to redeem it. So he's either got to use it or lose it. Now, we're going to go one step further. Individuals can invite other individuals to form what we call DD groups. Now, these groups can generate points just like individuals can. Groups can redeem them and earn rewards for Dunkin' Donuts gear, coffee, donuts, even choose to donate it to charity. So let me turn this over to Michael so he can tell you more about how this is all going to work.
Thank you. So those are kind of the ideas of what this app, in addition to the Dunkin' Donuts app, is going to have, but a little more on the nitty-gritty, so to speak. So let's say you have this Dunkin' app, and it's either hooked up through Wi-Fi or through the GPS. When you have the opt-in feature for push notifications, we can have that depending on how Dunkin' chooses to use it. You go near Dunkin's or you go into your Dunkin's and you get a notification. And it's either about your points or if it's about a free coffee or maybe a 25% off discount card that you only get because you have this app. So you're like, oh, you know what? I'll get this coffee. I go up, I take it, I scan it, whether QR or whatever we have, and it goes and adds more points. Let's say you get a sandwich as well, or a 6-pack of, or a 12-pack of Munchkins. You know, it'll add up, and then the points go onto your app, whether it posts to your Facebook or not. It's up to you or how the app is designed. But at that point, let's say you had bought 3 or 4 coffees already that week, and it allows you, oh, I got a free coffee today. But going back to what Gina was saying, I'm giving a free coffee or 3 for friends. So I can go through my Facebook and see who do I want to give a coffee to today. And I do that. Now they have 24 hours to get that. If they don't have the app, they must download the app and then become part of this kind of new social network on the Dunkin' app. So by that, you're bringing millennials to Dunkin' Donuts. You are essentially creating more brand loyalty, brand equity, and hopefully driving a top line. So from there, we have the groups. You're doing this for yourself, but why not get your friends? Let's say you have friends from fraternities, or friends from a church group, or your cohorts at work, or even at school. And you decide to build these groups to get even more points together for larger prizes, whether it's something as great as a vacation, or great as a big Dunkin' party package, which may entail a variety of things. Or let's say you decide you want to donate. So after a month or 2 of buying coffee, you normally get a few times a week, you're more incentivized to go and get a handful of coffees and even buy more because you know at the end of the day you're giving more points to a charity. So after a month or 2 months or 2 weeks, you and your group from, let's say, your fraternity, for example, decided that you want to donate these points to a charity that Dunkin' Donuts is aligned with, or maybe one that you can nominate yourself. And maybe after a month, that's a couple $1,000s from doing this that you can donate. So it's doing good for yourself and for the rest of the world as well. So those are kind of the 2 aspects of it, but there's a little bit more.
So what are we really talking about here? We're talking about finding a way to allow millennials to be the ones engaging other millennials, and finding a way for Dunkin' Donuts to essentially piggyback onto existing millennial behavior. They're already online, they're already connecting, they're already sending each other pokes and tweets and everything. So we're just finding a way for Dunkin' Donuts to piggyback onto those behaviors and incentivize individuals and groups to continue to allow Dunkin' Donuts to piggyback on that behavior. So don't forget about the importance of friendships, gift giving, but also a little bit of peer pressure if we talk about the group dynamic. If you form a DD group, you may have an interest in encouraging your friend to maybe skip Starbucks that day and go to Dunkin' Donuts.
And lastly, as a millennial myself, we are often caught up with the idea of missing out, the fear of missing out, that is, or as we call it, FOMO. For those of you not in the millennial generation, it's kind of a FOMO. It's true. So with that FOMO mixed with this amazing app, in addition to the team's individual aspect, points, working together, camaraderie, and some competition, we feel that America will still continue to run on Dunkin's, but hopefully this generation will begin even faster and continue to run to Dunkin's as well. Thank you very much.
Hey, fantastic job, guys.
Thank you.
One quick question. So a couple comments. Love the time-bound nature of it. Obviously love the skipping competitors. Talk about, if you could, a little bit, where do you think the tipping point is between spamming and gifting? I like the ability to donate it, but where do you think that line is on this is becoming spam?
So, two things we should remember. Number one, the gifting is coming from a friend. It's not coming from a company. And it's different from, say, an email forward or email spam, because you're actually getting something for free. Now, your point about the line and the frequency is a good one. I think there are some limitations that you could put in. Say, for example, you may be able to choose any friend you want to give the gift, but you may limit how many times a month you can actually send it to them, so that you don't actually end up, as you say, over-spamming your friend. And more importantly, from a Dunkin' Donuts perspective, you're encouraging them to send these gifts to multiple friends and reaching more different people.
Questions? All right, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right, our next presentation will come from Laura from BU.
So my idea begins with the concept of what happens at Dunkin' Donuts. We all know the feeling. You're in a rush in the morning, and you hurry to get out of the house, hoping to have just enough time on your way to work or class to get a coffee, because you know that that coffee is going to make your day that much better. On your way, you're relieved and comforted with the familiar Dunkin' Donuts logo on your way to work. You stop in, you get your usual, or you try something new, and you take your first sip, and you're ready to start the day. You start to feel like America really does run on Dunkin'. Dunkin' targets a lot of different people and reaches a lot of different audiences, and one of them is millennials. Millennials are drinking the product. However, they make up a large portion of coffee consumers who are different from a lot of the generations before them. And with every new generation comes a need for an innovation in the approach. For me, millennials are avid users of social media. They enjoy being on Facebook and Twitter, and they spend a lot of their time on those outlets. They appreciate the chance to be able to interact with their favorite brands more informally on social media platforms. They like to know that they're heard, and they value to be able to express themselves and to be recognized. Coffee offers them a chance to express themselves. It offers them a chance to personalize their drink to fit their personal needs and desires. It also lets them try out new flavors, and a lot of times they're enticed by the chance and open-minded to try out new things. And they value the experience of tasting new flavors and of going into a coffee shop, maybe even more than they value coffee itself. Therefore, my idea is a social media campaign that engages millennials based on the excitement they oftentimes feel when they personalize drinks to meet their own needs, or when they even come up with their own flavors. You could ask yourselves how many times you could come up with a flavor. You go to Dunkin', you're like, oh, it would be really cool, you know, if they had maybe Heath Bar, peanut butter cup, cookie dough. Therefore, my campaign targets millennials and has them offer their opinions directly. It has them submit flavor requests of hot or iced coffee right to the source. This is just an example of what I came up with for a landing page for Dunkin' Donuts could offer, where it's just basic information, offers their age so you get an idea of exactly how old they are, and some flavor suggestions. Then Dunkin' Donuts can allot a certain amount of time for that, for them to be able to enter their ideas. And then Dunkin' Donuts, based on how popular certain flavor ideas are, could develop a poll, a very simple poll that could be developed and spread out through Facebook and Twitter. The poll could offer any kinds of flavors, from Irish cream to cookie dough to caramel biscotti. What matters is that these flavors came directly from the millennials. After having a chance to vote on the flavors on polls distributed through where they spend most of their time, the winner would be able to have their coffee flavor at Dunkin' stores. And of course, with the contest, you could build around a campaign with, well, my idea was the line, be a flavor innovator. They like being able to interact, they like being able to innovate, so why not promote their expression and individuality? I believe that my idea is different because there's rarely been, if ever, a chance for the consumer to come up with their own flavor of coffee for a coffee shop. It also allows them to use social media creatively and to think outside the box. And along with this campaign, you can collect additional market research. You can find out, even if they don't make the polls, what other flavors they might be interested in, what ages of the millennials like different flavors, or whatever other questions you add along with the original question. And that's my presentation.
Just for the record, it took a millennial to turn the mic on there.
Thanks for turning the mic on for me. Great job. Thanks a lot. I thought it was a really great presentation. I love the flavor aspect for our coffee. I'm really interested in, though, any ideas you might have around leveraging it further. So you referenced a campaign there at the end of your presentation, a flavor innovator, what have you. What other kinds of things could we do once we get past the submission and the poll? And that kind of goes away. How do you see that kind of playing out in this campaign?
Well, I feel like you could do anything with commercials or print ads that show the idea of, I don't know, expression and individuality with youth. YouTube's always big. You could do kind of the idea where have people's reaction to different flavors. Maybe they're strange flavors, you don't know how they're going to react. They're a little out of the ordinary, but still really cool. So. Anything where you're watching them try it out, you're seeing how people choose different things based on who they are. So.
Good, thanks.
Thank you.
I have a question as well. With respect to the social media campaign aspect of it, have you given any thought to how that would run and incentivizing peers to vote or things like that, or increasing engagement with that aspect of your proposal?
Well, there's always additional things you could do. You could always offer, coupons. You could offer, originally, I think there's a lot you could do when you send in an actual email with your name and email address and flavor idea, because it's going right to your email, so it knows you actually took the initiative to set up like a flavor idea. And so, you could get coupons, and then there's the idea that if your friend entered a flavor and it's in a poll, you're going to want to help them. You're going to want to vote for them on social media. You're going to want to, if you did it, spread the word. Facebook, everyone's kind of connected. So I feel like at the beginning, you could come up with a pretty good incentive for submitting it, and then just kind of how it spreads. So.
Laura, thanks so much. Great job, Laura. Next group up will be Nikhil, Marjorie, and Samantha from WPI.
Okay, we're on. So we're really excited to be here today to share our Dunkin Donuts pitch for millennials called Share the Love. I'm Marjorie, this is Nikhil, and Samantha, and we're all millennials at WPI. So we're going to start off with a quick role play just to demonstrate our idea. Thank you for coming to Dunkin Donuts. What can I get you today?
Black coffee, 1 3.
Absolutely. Do you have a My Dunkin card? Yeah. As part of our Share the Love campaign, you actually receive a free donut for, yes, I know, exciting, isn't it? And the idea behind the campaign is that you can purchase a donut for a random customer, but then Dunkin Donuts will also donate 10 cents to a college scholarship fund. Would you be interested in sharing the love and purchasing a donut for another customer? Okay. Thanks for stopping by. Hi. Thanks for coming to Dunkin Donuts. How are you today?
Doing good.
What can I get you for you?
I'm actually looking for a glazed donut.
Okay. Do you have a My Dunkin card?
Oh, yes, I do. Here.
All right. And Nikhil has actually gifted you a free donut.
Oh, so Nikhil has gifted me a free glazed donut. Who's Nikhil?
Nikhil is another one of our customers in our Dunkin Donuts community.
Okay.
So this is part of our Share the Love campaign where you can purchase a donut for another customer. Would you be interested in doing that?
Yes, I would love to.
All right, thanks. And we'll actually take your picture to put on our Dunkin' Wall of Fame, and you can share with your Facebook friends too. Are you interested?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay. And here the picture is on our Wall of Fame.
Oh, that's lovely.
And then there would also be the opportunity for customers to share it on their Facebook pages, just to get their friends involved and educate them more about the campaign. So now Nikhil's going to talk a little bit more about how Dunkin' is involved in the entire process.
Okay. So all the customers are involved, so we would like Dunkin' to be involved too in the community sharing. So we would have Dunkin' donate for every gift a customer makes. They're doing a great job. 10 cents to a community, for the community for a scholarship, which would go to, which would be a merit-based scholarship for deserving students for their college or any education. And America runs on Dunkin', right? So if we get the future to run on it, that's the best way.
Okay, so we come to the last part of it is why will this campaign work with us millennials? Firstly, as millennials, we are Generation Y. We are very tech savvy. We spend most of our time, in fact, 80% of our time, not in studies, on Facebook, Twitter, checking what other people are doing in their lives, their photographs. So we are very tech savvy. We love social media. We love socializing. We love when people have the sense of belongingness towards us. And then we are quick decision makers because we don't have time. Time is running fast. And last but not the least, we are very much motivated by a social cause. And something like education, where all countries look towards America for education, we would love to support that. Thank you for listening to our presentation, and if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot.
Thank you guys very much. Great job. So I love that it's such a feel-good campaign on multiple levels, the charity and then also gifting to a stranger. And then you mentioned, posting to Facebook, that portion. Is there any incentive to really share or engage more online from that perspective beyond that sort of initial posting to Facebook to share, like, hey, this is the gift of love I received?
Yeah, we really wanted it to be self-motivated, so getting people, tapping into the emotional side of people and have them promote it themselves instead of campaigns that would incentivize them to like something. They're going to begin to like the product so much that they're going to show their picture on Facebook. They're going to check in at a Dunkin' Donuts. They're going to like the Share the Love campaign. So we're really trying to build it from the ground up rather than push it from the top down.
Actually, if you realize Facebook works on one particular, they say in marketing there are 4 basic emotions. So one emotion why Facebook actually works is envy and jealousy. It's when I see someone on Facebook putting a happy photograph, I'm like, oh my God, that person has a really happy life going on. I need to do it. So that's how actually all of us run Facebook. So basically, we are not on Facebook for chatting or something. We are like, oh, I'm having a very happy life. What about you, actually? So that's the main campaign. Why we are trying to put on Facebook. I am doing Share the Love. What are you doing? Are you doing something exciting in your life today? So that's the main thing. Thank you.
Are there other ways that you see us merchandising this thing that we're doing? So obviously it's going to be on Facebook and all those channels there, but what other ways do you see that we can merchandise the fact that we're ultimately giving all this money in product away?
So are you asking from the customer's perspective or for Dunkin's?
What else could we do as Dunkin' Donuts to get the word out that we're doing this besides Facebook?
We had a couple of ideas which we didn't expand on right now because of lack of time, but one thing was we could do like a intercity competition between Dunkin's, and whoever gets the maximum gifters going gets the money. Like it could be a monthly competition, or you could also have the customers, like a weekly competition for customers who give the most gifts away. They have like a huge mug, like a trophy with coffee and a handle of a donut, and maybe you could sell that for a week in the stores, and that that goes to, the proceedings go to charity as well for that. So.
Nice, thanks.
Hey, great job, guys. Thank you very much. Also good to see that the jealousy and envy trait runs in millennials as well. Maybe I have Brad Pitt as my picture on Facebook so my high school girlfriend sees it. Final presentation will be from Justine Andrews from Bentley.
Hi, everyone. Are you having a good time? Yes? Okay, good to hear. I am too. I'm Justine. I'm from Bentley. Fun fact, I don't know much about marketing, so this is all a learning process for me, so bear with me. But I would like to turbo-shot Dunkin' Donuts marketing with Turbo-Shot Your Town. So the goal here was to engage millennials. And millennials are difficult. I'm one of them, I know. Part of the problem is that marketing to millennials is a lot harder, sorry, I hope you can all hear me, is a lot harder than it should be. There are so many outlets to reach us between social media and TV, radio ads, and physical ads, that we have so many messages coming in from so many brands and so many companies that we can only choose to actually engage with the brands that we're really encouraged to. So product really isn't enough anymore. A millennial isn't going to engage with a company because they really like the product. That's just not a good enough motivator for a millennial to tweet at a company or really follow them and share the company's story. A millennial wants a brand that they can trust, that they can love, that they can share with their friends and family. And it's kind of a mushy presentation, guys, bear with me. So I took a couple different components together to look at millennials. Well, first there's Dunkin' Donuts, the brand and product. Millennials know and love the product. Everyone knows what they're going to get when they walk into Dunkin' Donuts. They know what to expect. They're familiar with it, which is a good thing. That makes marketing a little easier. Sharing and influence. Millennials love to share everything. Everything. We like to influence others. We like to be influenced by others, whether it's social media or just day-to-day life. And then responsibility and community. This is something that I've noticed in millennials that I think is different from any other generation. We care, like if there's a cause, we care about it. Like those, I don't even know. We care about literally everything. We want to save the world, we want to save the planet, people, animals, food. So that's something that I really wanted to focus on when trying to engage millennials. So I came up with Turbo Shot Your Town. This would be a social media campaign, and I had to write it all out, otherwise I would screw it up and not explain it right. So the town with the greatest number of hashtags posted and shared on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook will win funding to create or update a town park, which would bring happiness and energy to the community. Dunkin's would then follow up with the community and create a video and a story, a small town success story to share with the rest of their consumers. So it's pretty simple. So why this works for millennials is because, like I said, we love to share. We love our social media. I am constantly retweeting things from my favorite brands, my favorite quotes, my favorite inspirations. Millennials love to make a difference. Like I said, we're really motivated by being able to make changes and having a positive influence in people's lives. And we love our hometowns. So many millennials are so willing to make a difference in their hometown and really want to make a difference. And that's something that I don't see like in my parents or anything, but it's something that within my friends, I mean, I know if we all have the chance to do something for our towns, for our community, we'll do it. And then of course, they already know and love the product. That's a huge help because millennials are going to see this competition and they're not going to have to question what brand is running it, what company they're dealing with. They know the brand, they trust the product, they trust the brand, they're familiar with it, so they know what they're getting into. And why this works for Dunks. This would engage more followers on social media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And this would not just engage, this would engage more than followers, sorry. Because this reaches out not just to the people that follow Dunkin's on a regular basis, but to the people who follow them and the people who follow those people who, confusing myself. This would reach entire towns, entire communities, people that you normally don't tweet about a company. Now they have the motivation to do so. And then, of course, corporate responsibility. I think that's the key here. That's the key to getting people engaged in the first place, between people and planet. Obviously, for people, Dunkin's would be making a huge impact by creating or updating a town park. Parks are a place where people can grow old and stay young and be with their families and their friends. They're so underappreciated and not taken care of, so Dunkin's would really be contributing to the community. And, of course, planet. I'm not saying Dunkin's has to go in and plant a ton of trees, but building a park makes people appreciate the outdoors, appreciate the earth, the environment. That's something that I believe is important for any company to help try to contribute to the cause of. Goodness, I can't talk. Sorry, guys. But it would be, it would add to Dunkin's corporate responsibility, which is always a plus. And most importantly, this whole campaign would reach the heart of consumers. And that's really important here, because Dunkin's is already such a prominent figure in so many so many towns and communities. Every town knows where their Dunkin's is. Everyone knows that they can go to Dunks. They know what the products are. Everyone's familiar with it. Well, this is a really good chance to reach out and really impact those consumers, those communities. So by doing this, Dunkin' Donuts will surpass the competition and become a brand that consumers not only love for the product and the delicious munchkins, but for all that they've done for the community.
Thanks. Great job, Justine. Question, outside of just social, any thoughts on how to spread the word of the program outside of just social media?
Well, like I said, I'm learning about marketing. This is all an experience, so my ideas probably aren't as good as they could be. But obviously, Dunkin's could do ads, whether, or maybe like with the first couple people that start tweeting in, they could feature those people in TV ads and billboards and regular advertisements like that, just to reach out to everyone else. And something I forgot to mention is when it comes to advertising this, a lot of it would fuel itself, because the people that will be engaged will see that so many people from their hometown are tweeting this one hashtag, and they'll wonder what it is. So once it gets started, it would really do a lot of the advertising for itself.
Great job, Justine. One question. So the way that a lot of the budgets might work on something like this is that each individual town or community might have to pick up the tab for the park or what have you. For some of those communities in the Dunkin' Donuts system that are maybe smaller and don't have the bigger budgets to afford something like that, do you think it can scale down? Do you think there's other things that they can do besides the prizes that you've offered up?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I like the idea of contributing something for the whole community to use, so something along the lines of maybe not a whole park, but even just a new swing set or a new pathway, a new, I don't know, what are in parks these days? Things like that.
Love swing sets, sure, yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, things like that are just really good for the community. People see that, they'll go outdoors, and it's energizing. Obviously, it goes with the whole Dunkin's coffee energizing thing, so things like that.
So beyond the feel-good aspect of it, because we're all marketers here, how do you see this having an effect for Dunkin' Donuts, translating to the bottom line in terms of revenue or sales, or more new customers in this demographic?
The way I look at that is the triple bottom line: people, planet, profit. I think that engaging with the customer on this level and really winning their hearts, and then also showing that Dunkin's is sustainability, like cares about sustainability and things like that. I think those will create customer loyalty like never before, and it will get people who usually just like kind of walk by Dunkin's to think twice about it. to think twice about walking in and say, hey, maybe, or they did all this for my community, maybe I should go in and get a coffee from them instead of wherever. And I think that will translate to sales.
Great job.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take about 2 minutes and do a quick deliberation, but it's not above us to buy your love. So partner in crime in the back, John Chu, is going to be passing out cards to everyone in attendance for a $5 download on the Dunkin mobile app. So right here, John, raise your hand. This is the guy you want to know right now. So while we're deliberating, he's going to pass these out. And I think maybe there's some other folks in the back. Kevin, if you could give him a hand as well. We'll give these to everybody, $5 on your Dunkin mobile app, and we'll be back very quickly with a decision. Big round of applause for all the presentations. A couple things. I think you all did a fantastic job. I think the use of social was right on. The insights that you guys brought to the table from your consumer group, Millennials, was terrific. And I thought, most importantly, the alignment with the Dunkin brand was terrific. It showed that you know the brand, you know the app, you know how our business works. So thank you. I thought that was great. Tough job to pick one, but that's kind of what we were tasked to do as judges. So the group that we selected was the group from Babson, Michael, and Gina. So congratulations. We don't have a ceremonial, gigantic Dunkin black card, but we definitely know how to reach you, and we'll get that to you, and then we'll work to set up the day. So fantastic job. Congratulations. So, last thing, again, thanks to everybody. This was terrific. I learned a lot just reading through, and I thought your presentations were great. Thanks, everyone, for coming. Enjoy the rest of FutureM.